This is a secret message from the Lord. Before you continue watching, pause for a moment. This video is not an accident. You did not randomly scroll and land here by chance. Something deeper brought you here. There are moments in life when heaven becomes quiet, not because God has abandoned you, but because He is preparing to speak in a way you cannot ignore. And today may be one of those moments for you. Yes, you, right now, wherever you are. Whatever you are going through, this message has found you for a reason, because there is something the Lord wants you to understand, something many people will scroll past, ignore, or never realize. But you stayed, and that matters. Sometimes God does not shout, sometimes He whispers, and only the ones who are meant to hear it feel it in their spirit. If you have been feeling confused lately, if you feel like something in your life is shifting, if certain people are leaving your life, if doors are closing unexpectedly, if you have been feeling a strange pull in your heart that you cannot explain, then listen carefully, because what you are about to hear might confirm something you have been sensing deep inside. This is not just motivation. This is a reminder, a warning, and a message of protection. The Lord sees everything you have been facing silently. The nights you stayed awake thinking about your future, the battles you fought that no one else knows about, the times you almost gave up but somehow kept going. God noticed that, and there is a reason you were not allowed to break, because there is something ahead, a view that requires the version of you that survived the storm. But before that happens, there is something the Lord wants to reveal to you. So do not skip this message. Listen until the end, because what you are about to hear might change the way you see everything that has been happening in your life. And now, here is the message. God has been separating you. The first thing the Lord wants you to understand is this. The isolation you have been feeling was not a punishment. It was protection. You may have thought people were abandoning you. You may have wondered why certain friendships suddenly became distant, why conversation stopped, why support disappeared. But what you didn't see was what God saw. There were environments that would have drained you, people who smiled in front of you but secretly hoped you would fail, situations that looked good on the surface but were quietly pulling you away from your purpose. And because you are chosen for something greater, God had to step in. Not everyone can go where God is taking you. Sometimes God removes people before they destroy your destiny. At the time it hurts, it feels unfair. It makes you question everything. But later, you realize it was mercy. Some people were assignments, others were distractions, and God knows the difference. Right now you might feel like your circle has become smaller. But what you don't realize is that your life is becoming clearer. God is reducing the noise so you can hear Him again, because the next season of your life requires focus, and the Lord is preparing you for something that cannot happen while you're surrounded by the wrong energy. That sudden distance you felt from someone, that was not random. That opportunity that disappeared unexpectedly, that was not a loss. That was divine redirection. And the reason many people will never understand this is because they only look at what they lost. But you are about to realize what God protected you from. Part 2. God has been silent for a reason. There is something else the Lord wants you to understand. His silence was never absence. It was preparation. There were moments when you prayed and nothing seemed to happen. You asked for signs. You asked for clarity. You asked God to show you what to do next. But heaven felt quiet, and in those quiet moments, doubt tried to enter your mind. You started wondering, did God forget about me? Am I going in the wrong direction? Why does it feel like everyone else is moving forward except me? But what you did not see was what God was doing behind the scenes, because sometimes the biggest blessings are built in silence. While you were waiting, God was aligning things you cannot see yet, people you have not met yet, doors you have not reached yet, opportunities that are still forming. And if God had answered too early, you would not have been ready. This season was not about speed. It was about transformation. God has been strengthening your mind, testing your faith, teaching you patience, and building a version of you that will not break when success arrives. Because blessings without preparation can destroy a person. But God cares too much about you to let that happen. And this is why you had to go through the quiet season. Because what is coming next in your life requires strength, clarity, and spiritual awareness. And the Lord has been preparing you for that moment. You may not see it yet, but something is shifting, and soon you will understand why everything had to happen the way it did. The battle you are facing is not normal. There is something the Lord wants you to realize about the struggles you have been going through lately. This is not a normal season. You may have felt an unusual pressure in your life, things becoming difficult all at once, unexpected problems appearing from different directions, people misunderstanding you, plans collapsing right when you thought everything was finally working. And sometimes it made you wonder, why is everything suddenly so hard? Why does it feel like something is trying to stop me? Listen carefully. Not every battle in your life is random. Some battles appear when you're getting closer to your purpose. Because when your life is about to change, resistance increases. The enemy does not attack what is weak. It attacks what has potential. And that explains why some of the things you faced recently felt overwhelming. You were not crazy for feeling that something spiritual was happening, because it was. There were moments when discouragement tried to enter your heart. Moments when you almost believed that giving up would be easier. Moments when you thought maybe your efforts were pointless. But here is the truth the Lord wants you to understand today. You survived those moments for a reason. You did not quit, even when you felt tired, even when you felt alone, even when you felt like nobody understood what you were carrying inside. You kept going, and that alone tells heaven something important about you. It shows that your faith did not completely break, and because of that, God is about to reward your endurance. Many people stop right before their breakthrough. They leave when the pressure increases. They turn back when the road becomes unclear. But you stayed on the path, even when it was dark, and God saw that. Every silent tear, every hidden struggle, every prayer you whispered when nobody else was around, none of it was ignored. You were being watched over the entire time, and now something is about to shift in your life that will make you understand why the battle had to happen, because the strength you gained during this season is the exact strength you will need where God is taking you next. Someone in your life was not sent by God. This next part of the message may be difficult to hear, but it is something the Lord wants you to be aware of. There was someone in your life who was never meant to stay. At first you trusted them. You believed their words. You believed their intentions were good. You thought they genuinely cared about you, but something slowly began to feel wrong. Maybe it was small signs at first. Subtle changes in their behavior. Moments when their energy felt different, times when you felt drained after being around them. Your spirit noticed it, even if your mind tried to ignore it. And the truth is, God was showing you something. Not everyone who enters your life comes with good intentions. Some people are sent as tests, others are sent as lessons, and sometimes people reveal who they truly are when your life begins to change. There are individuals who feel comfortable when you are struggling, but become uncomfortable when you start growing. They smile when you are stuck, but become distant when you move forward. And the Lord noticed what you could not fully see. That is why things started separating. That is why certain relationships suddenly shifted. That is why communication changed. Because God will never allow someone to stay close to you if their presence threatens the future He has planned for you. You might have been confused when that connection started falling apart. You might have asked yourself why it happened the way it did. But what felt like loss was actually protection. Sometimes God removes someone not because you were wrong, but because He sees what they would eventually do. And the truth is, your destiny is too important to be affected by the wrong people. So instead of asking why they left, ask what God saved you from. Because one day very soon, you are going to look back and realize that their absence was one of the biggest blessings in your life. God is about to reveal something you didn't expect. There is a shift coming into your life. You may not see it clearly yet, but it is closer than you think. The Lord has been working quietly behind the scenes, arranging things in ways that you could never plan on your own. And soon, something unexpected will begin to happen. A door will open where you thought there was no path. A connection will appear that changes your direction. An opportunity will show up at the exact moment you need it. And when it happens, it will feel almost unbelievable, because it will arrive after a season when you felt uncertain and tired. This is how God often moves. Right when you start thinking nothing is changing, everything begins to change. But there is something important you must understand before that moment arrives. You cannot carry doubt into the season God is preparing for you, because doubt has a way of making people walk away from their blessings. Sometimes people pray for an opportunity, and when it finally appears, fear makes them hesitate. But the Lord wants you to be ready this time, ready to recognize the moment, ready to step forward, ready to trust that what is happening is not coincidence. Because what is about to unfold in your life was arranged long before you realized it. Even the struggles you faced were part of the preparation. The delays had purpose, the confusion had meaning, and the waiting was shaping you into someone who could handle what is coming next. That is why you should not lose hope now. You are closer than you realize. The season you are entering will not look like the season you just survived. Something new is forming, something unexpected, something that will make you realize that the Lord was guiding you the entire time, even when you thought you were walking alone. A test is happening right now. There is something important the Lord wants you to understand about the season you are currently in. This is not just a waiting period. It is a test. Not a test designed to make you fail, but a test meant to reveal what is truly inside your heart. Sometimes God allows certain situations to happen so that your faith becomes visible, not just to Him but also to you, because there are moments in life when we believe we are strong until pressure arrives, and lately, pressure has been present in your life. Situations that forced you to be patient when you wanted answers immediately. Moments that required you to stay calm when your emotions were heavy. Times when you had to trust God even though nothing around you looked certain. And the truth is, many people would have given up already. Many people would have walked away. Many people would have stopped believing. But something inside you kept telling you to hold on just a little longer. That feeling was not random. It was guidance. The Lord has been watching how you respond during the moments when nobody is clapping for you, when nobody notices your effort, when nobody understands your internal battles, when nobody sees how hard you are trying to stay strong. These are the moments that shape your future, because God does not only bless people based on what they ask for, He also looks at how they behave during difficult seasons. And right now, your response matters more than you realize. How you react to delays, how you treat people when you are frustrated, how you continue moving forward even when your energy feels low. All of this is being noticed, and this is why this season has been so important. You are being strengthened in ways you could not see. Your patience was growing, your awareness was increasing, your faith was becoming deeper, and soon the test you're going through will turn into confirmation that you are ready for what comes next. God is protecting you from something hidden. There is another reason why certain things in your life have not worked out the way you expected. And this is something many people realize only much later. Sometimes what looks like disappointment is actually protection. There were situations you wanted to happen, plans you hoped would succeed, people you believed would stay in your life, opportunities you were excited about. But somehow things did not go the way you imagined. At first it may have felt confusing, maybe even painful. You might have asked God why it happened like that. But what you could not see at that moment was what existed behind the scenes. Because not everything that looks good is meant for you, and not every opportunity is safe for your future. There are paths that appear attractive but lead to stress, regret, and loss. There are people who seem supportive at first but slowly create problems in your life. There are environments that look promising but quietly drain your energy and focus. And the Lord saw something that you did not see yet. That is why certain doors closed, not to punish you, but to redirect you. Imagine if everything you wanted had worked out exactly the way you planned. You might have ended up somewhere that would have delayed your purpose. You might have trusted someone who was not loyal. You might have invested your time in something that was not meant to last. So God stepped in quietly, not always in ways you understood immediately, but always in ways that protected your path. One day, something will happen that reveals the full picture to you. You will realize that the delay saved you, the rejection redirected you, and the closed door guided you towards something better. And when that realization arrives, you will understand why God did not allow certain things to stay in your life. A sign is coming that will confirm everything. Now listen very carefully, because this part of the message is important. The Lord knows that lately you have been searching for confirmation. Something to show you that you are not imagining things. Something to prove that your path is not meaningless. Something that tells you that your prayers have been heard. And because God understands your heart, a sign is coming into your life. Not necessarily in the way you expect, but in a way you will recognize. It may come through a conversation that suddenly makes sense. It may come through an opportunity that appears at the right moment. It may come through a realization that changes how you see everything. But when it happens, something inside you will feel different. There will be a moment of clarity, a moment where confusion begins to fade, a moment where you realize that you were never truly alone in your journey. Because the Lord has been guiding you step by step, even when the road looked uncertain, even when the future felt unclear, even when you doubted yourself. And this sign will not just be about proving something to you. It will also be about strengthening your faith for the next chapter of your life. Because where you are going next requires confidence and trust. It requires courage, and it requires the ability to recognize when God is opening a door in front of you. So when the sign arrives, do not ignore it. Pay attention to what is happening around you. Listen to what your spirit is feeling. Notice the shifts taking place in your life, because this moment will mark the beginning of a new direction. And once you recognize it, you will understand that this message reached you at exactly the right time. The shift in your life has already started. Something has already begun changing in your life, even if it is not fully visible yet. Many people think transformation happens suddenly, in one dramatic moment. But the truth is, most of the time, the shift begins quietly. It starts deep inside you. Recently, you may have noticed that your mindset is not the same as it used to be. Things that once distracted you no longer excite you the same way. Certain conversations feel different now. Some environments no longer feel comfortable like they once did. This is not random. This is growth. God has been changing the way you see things. You are becoming more aware, more careful, more focused. And sometimes this stage can feel strange, because while you are changing, not everyone around you is changing at the same pace. That is why you may feel slightly disconnected from certain people lately. Not because you are better than them, but because your direction is shifting, your priorities are evolving. Your spirit is becoming more aligned with what God wants for your future. And whenever this kind of transformation begins, there is usually a period where life feels uncertain. You are no longer the person you used to be, but you have not fully stepped into who you are becoming. This space between the old you and the new you can feel uncomfortable, but it is necessary, because this is where God reshapes your thinking. This is where your strength increases. This is where your purpose becomes clearer. Many people run away from this stage because it feels unfamiliar. But you stayed. You kept listening. You kept searching for meaning. And because of that, the shift has already begun inside you. And soon, what started internally will begin to appear externally in your life. Opportunities will begin to align differently. Your path will start becoming clearer, and the direction you are meant to take will feel more obvious than before. Some people will not understand your journey. As your life continues to change, there is something the Lord wants you to prepare for. Not everyone will understand what God is doing in your life. In fact, some people may even question it. There will be individuals who doubt your decisions, people who cannot see what you are feeling inside, people who only look at your current situation and assume nothing significant is happening. But what they fail to realize is that spiritual transformation is often invisible at first. God does not always reveal his plans to everyone around you. Sometimes the message is meant only for you, and this is where many people become discouraged. Because when others do not support their journey, they start questioning themselves. They start wondering if they are wrong. They start thinking maybe they should go back to what feels familiar. But the Lord wants you to understand something important. Your purpose was never meant to be validated by everyone. If everyone understood your path, it would not require faith. There will be moments when you have to keep moving forward, even when nobody else sees what you see. Moments when you must trust what God placed in your heart. Moments when you must remain strong while others doubt you. And those moments are not meant to weaken you. They are meant to strengthen your confidence in God's direction. Because the truth is, some people can only understand your journey after the results appear, after the breakthrough happens, after the success becomes visible. But by then, you will already know that God was guiding you long before anyone else realized it. So do not be discouraged if others do not understand what you are doing right now. You are not walking this path to impress people. You are walking it because God is leading you somewhere important. And the people who are truly meant to support your journey will eventually recognize that. You are closer to your breakthrough than you think. There is something powerful the Lord wants you to hear right now. You are closer to your breakthrough than you realize. Many people give up right before things begin to change. Right before the door opens. Right before the answer arrives. Right before the situation turns around. And the reason this happens is because the final stage of waiting often feels the most difficult. It is the moment when patience feels heavy, when doubt tries to return, when you start asking yourself if anything will actually change. But what you do not see is that behind the scenes, movement is already happening. Things are aligning. Situations are shifting. Paths are being cleared in ways you cannot yet see. And the moment you have been waiting for is slowly approaching. The Lord has not forgotten your prayers, not a single one. Even the prayers you whispered quietly when nobody else was around. Even the ones you thought were too small to matter. God heard them, and answers are forming in ways you cannot fully understand yet. This is why it is important for you not to lose hope now. You have come too far to stop. You have survived too many challenges to turn back. You have grown too much to return to who you used to be. And the breakthrough ahead of you will make sense of everything you went through. One day soon you will look back at this season and realize that this was the moment right before your life began changing. Right before new doors opened. Right before new opportunities arrived. Right before the clarity you were searching for finally appeared. So hold on a little longer, because what is coming next will be worth the wait. This message reached you for a reason. There is one final thing the Lord wants you to understand. This message did not appear in your life by accident. Out of millions of videos, millions of messages, millions of voices speaking every single day, somehow you ended up here, listening to these exact words at this exact moment in your life. And that is not something to ignore, because sometimes God reaches people in ways they never expected. Not always through dramatic miracles or loud signs, but through moments of realization that touch the heart at the right time. Think about everything you have been feeling lately. The questions in your mind, the situations that confused you, the moments when you felt like something deeper was happening in your life, but you could not fully explain it. This message is connected to those feelings because the Lord knows when someone needs encouragement. He knows when someone is close to losing hope. He knows when someone has been carrying too much pressure silently. And right now, this message is reminding you of something important. You are not forgotten. Your life is not meaningless. Your struggles were not wasted. Everything you went through had a purpose, even the parts that felt painful or unfair. There were moments when you thought you were walking alone, moments when it seemed like nobody understood what you were facing. But the truth is, God was present in every step you took, even when you were confused, even when you felt weak, even when you doubted yourself. And the reason you are still here, still moving forward, still searching for answers, is because something inside you refused to give up. That strength did not come from nowhere. That was God sustaining you when things were heavy. And now you are entering a season where clarity will begin to replace confusion. Direction will begin to replace uncertainty, and peace will begin to replace the pressure you have been carrying. But there is one thing you must do moving forward. Do not ignore what your spirit is telling you anymore. Pay attention to the changes happening in your life. Listen carefully to the moments when something inside you feels guided, because the Lord often speaks through those quiet, inner signals that many people overlook. And the fact that you stayed and listened to this message until now shows something important about you. You are searching for truth. You are searching for direction. And that is exactly why this message reached you. What you should do after this message. Now that you have heard this message, there is something important the Lord wants you to remember moving forward. Your life is entering a new chapter. It may not happen all at once, but step by step, things will begin to shift. You will start noticing changes. New opportunities, new understanding, new strength inside you that you did not realize was there before. But with this new season comes responsibility. You must protect your energy, protect your focus, and protect the direction God is guiding you toward. Not everyone will understand what is happening in your life. Not everyone will believe in your journey, and that is okay, because this path was never meant for everyone to understand. It was meant for you to walk with faith. From this moment forward, start paying attention to the signs around you. Notice the people who genuinely support your growth. Notice the situations that bring peace instead of confusion. Notice the doors that open naturally without forcing them, because these are often the ways God shows you where to go next. And if you have been waiting for confirmation, this is it. You are being guided, you are being protected, and you are being prepared for something greater than you expected. But remember this carefully. Your mindset will determine how you step into the next chapter of your life. If you move forward with fear, you may hesitate when opportunities appear. But if you move forward with faith, you will recognize the moment when God opens a door for you. So choose faith, choose patience, choose to believe that everything you went through had meaning, because the story of your life is still unfolding, and the most important chapters have not even happened yet. One day you will look back at this season and realize that it was the turning point, the moment when everything slowly started making sense, the moment when God began revealing what He had been preparing for you all along. So do not stop now. Keep going. Stay strong and trust that the path ahead of you is being guided step by step, because the Lord is not finished with your story yet.